Instantly.
I don't know. I mean, and we're not going to be, hey, you're 56 miles an hour.
No,
I mean, we're
no,
going to,
no.
I just see.
Unless you're in Ohio State.
unless you're Ohio State, then,
Good
then
point.
the fine's double.
Well pointed.
There you go, Ohio
We're
State
off.
people
I can
here?
do that. Oh, sure.
How they got across the
I didn't
border,
mean that,
I don't
Buckeyes.
know.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
finish my thought, I mean, you say they don't, I don't know. I'm not going to argue that with you. You have more,
They don't.
experience than I do with it.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking from my logical, thought that, okay, eventually it's going to taper off. How long do we give it after we taper off? Is it again a 3-month period? Is that what we're just trying to get inside your head?
As you all know, wintertime, people fly south. A lot of people fly south, some fly north. And so the traffic, again, it's going to have to be monitored by me. And I'll have to make a management decision that maybe we suspend the traffic unit during the wintertime, and run it during the warmer weather. This was designed so that it doesn't cost the taxpayers anything but provides the service they're asking for, because they're asking for it.
And you can,
Okay.
and you can move, you'll direct, hey, M89,
Yep.
Augusta Drive,
40th Street, 37th Street, East Gull Lake Drive.
can we touch G Avenue at all?
Oh, yeah. We can touch G Avenue. So,
I just don't want us to get a nickname like the Richland has, the Gauntlet. I mean,
no.
I heard that
But
and I thought,
the
geez, you better
citizens
really
are
slow
saying
down when you're going in
They see a
there.
problem. The citizens are saying they see a problem and they want action.
Do you have data on that? Like how many people? I mean, the complaints are astronomical. There's
No, I
you've
wouldn't
heard
say
from 10
astronomical.
people. You've heard from. I'm just curious.
When I'm driving down the road, like especially East Gull Lake Drive, there are people walking their dogs and they flag me down. I'll get emails. I've had people when I'm on 37th Street will come out of their houses and say, thank you. It's just an issue. And I'm trying to develop a plan that will address it. Now, will it have to be constantly reviewed and I'll come back and on my data every month, I will tell you. And if it does not work, I'll be the first to pull the plug on it.
I will say I did take a call in the last couple of weeks about the people flying down 39th Street, and I gave it to Chief. I said, apparently there's a lot of people racing down 39.
I mean, I could think of half a
especially in
dozen.
South Bay. I had a guy, I'm not going to name names, but when we pulled him over, he was all upset. Why? Because, quote unquote, I've been running that stop sign for 40 years. And now you're going to tell me I can't. Yeah.
Well, I think one thing we don't want to miss too is if everybody all of a sudden obeys the law and doesn't speed, it really worked.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I'm comfortable with what I heard. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we go ahead and move forward with the traffic unit plan with an idea that at the September meeting that we have a full accounting, because that's 3 months out.
Right.
A full accounting for how many officers you've used, how many hours we've paid, and what we would expect in for tickets.
Yep.
And I'd like to have it on a spreadsheet so that
Sure.
we can see if we're,
On target or not.
on
if it's
target
working
or not. But
Yeah.
at the same time, we'd like to know what the behaviors are. So if you could start tracking
Oh, yeah.
your calls, we would know if citizens are becoming more satisfied, that there's not speeding as often and you got a handle on it, et cetera. So that's my motion.
Yep, I'll second it.
We have a motion and support to approve the Ross Township traffic unit as presented. Is there any further discussion?
But I want part of that is that we need that report in September because the board's going to determine at that point if we're going to move forward full bore or half bore or no bore.
So we have a
based
motion
on
and
the data.
support that documentation on the
That
traffic
will give me
unit.
60 days.
September?
Well, because he's got a 30-day delay, so,
that gives me July and August if I report in
And,
September.
and
So
September,
could
because we don't meet. till the third
October,
week.
could we report it in October? That'll give you a full 90 days.
Yeah, I'm okay with October.
well, so Martin, do you have somebody that can step into this role, or do you need to recruit for this role?
I've got people in my back pocket ready to go.
Okay, okay.
What do you say ready to go? Like a week, 2 weeks?
Week. The plan was by 1 July, have this up and running. What has to happen is they have to get computer codes from the dispatch center. They have to, get set with their other work schedule to be able to join this. So no later than 1 July would be what my target would be to start.
And I would think then that would give 3 full months if we go
I think that's
October.
good.
So
And I mean, I think we're also going to work to try to have this stats every month. so
Every
we can
month you're
just
gonna have
be
the stats.
watching
Right.
it. Yep.
You're gonna see long before October whether this is,
Right, but again, that's a decision point for the board.
yeah.
Yes. At
that
Decision point in
All right,
October.
and are
Yep.
you okay with, if I amended my motion
Yes.
to October?
Yes. And the other comment I would make, and I believe that when you're pulling over, not the person who's just got a heavy lead foot, but I think there's going to be a certain percent that there may be additional issues. And so I definitely want to hear about, hey, we pulled somebody over for speeding and, found, this and this. I mean, I can tell you, having spent a Saturday and a Sunday in the park, the number of people coming in, no, it's marijuana. The window opens on the car and you're just, I had a headache by the end of the day. It's like, this is crazy. I had to call for a ride home. So, no, I'm I'm curious about. It's the broken window concept, the broken window just, if you know that. Anyhow, it's, I'll be here. I'm very much looking forward to seeing if there's anything else that comes out of it.
So would you please repeat the amendment of your motion?
Well, the amendment is that we would approve it. Chief Brown can move forward, put it in place as he has been planning. He's saying a July 1 date, but we're not holding him to that. But in the September board meeting, we would like to see the 3-month data because the goal is
October.
to, or in
October
October.
meeting.
Yeah, in October, we can see the 3-month of data because we are being told that it's revenue cost neutral.
So are we looking at a 10-hour per
Right.
week edition or 20-hour per week edition?
Well,
I'd say
one
we-
might be 10, one might be 20.
Yeah, I think we
Their
give Chief Brown
availability.
the authority to make those decisions as they move forward.
Would it be more than 20?
No, because then you start
Trustee
walking
White
into that
asking for a
full-time
friend.
position, and we ain't going there.
Right, right.
The motion is to approve the traffic unit with a detailed ticket report due at our October board meeting.
And a cost review.
Revenue,
Yeah,
a
cost
detailed
review.
revenue cost
Correct.
analysis.
Yeah.
Last question, how often, how many hours do you think you spend a week doing this?
It depends on the time of the year, okay? I basically stopped doing every other job I had in April just to get revenue for this project. But with the administrative agent work, the patrol work, the investigations, and now the Marine Patrol, there's what I call targets of opportunity. I'm driving down the road with the radar on, and here comes somebody. It's like, hello.
But with the added
but-
Marine people, that freed you up, right?
Yeah, it frees me up. And my intent would be to monitor around, because you have a lot of pedestrian traffic on South Bay on the weekends. You want to make sure that if anyone's going, don't want anybody speeding in those neighborhoods, because you got a lot of kids running around out there as well. So my intent is to be able to increase that visibility and presence as well. Okay. Any other questions?
So they come with firearms and
Yep.
vests and all that?
Yep.
Okay.
We will. Once this is approved, then Martin and I will have a conversation with our insurance
He knows
agent.
it's coming. He's just he told me what he needs. And if you approve it, I will make sure he has it.
This will cover the insurance increase to the township to cover these guys?
I'm not sure if there will be an insurance increase. He just told me what information I needed to provide
Okay.
you to him.
But if there is, it goes into the cost part of the
Cost
of the program.
analysis, right.
Right.
What happens if there is a shortfall between now and October? Who pays it?
Well, like I said, you've got about $3,000 coming in to start the project. And that should, if there is a shortage, I'll know it beforehand. And we'll be able to adjust if necessary. If this isn't working, you're not going to see it in October because it's going to be shut down already.
So there
before-
won't be a shortage.
Right.
Right.
All right, let's just, in the event there's it's $1,000 shortage or whatever, the reality is it's the township funds that hit it and it goes against the police
Yeah.
budget.
And we're
But then
providing
we would
revenue
shut it
for
down.
So,
Right. Thank you. You need a vote, right?
Is it? This is a roll call. You can do roll call. Okay. Trustee White,
Nay.
trustee Beeks,
Aye.
trustee Langshaw. Supervisor Hutchings.
Aye.
Clerk Stage, nay. Treasurer Wiersma.
Nay.
Call my name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's looking at you.
Trustee Harmon.
Aye.
4-3, it passes. Thank you.
okay.
Moving on into new payroll vendor and new credit card vendor, and I will turn this over to the clerk and or the treasurer.
Okay, so we already have a credit card policy, and we also have our credit card resolution. And we switched credit card users, I can't remember, about a year ago. And since then, we've been having issues because they're a third-party provider for the Southern Michigan Bank and Trust. So if there's an issue with a card like we were having this past week where we had already put things on the card and we needed to pay the balance off, I just can't go to the bank and ask them to pay what is due on the card so that we can use the card further, because it's a third-party vendor, which means I have to call the card company. I have to go through first their, first their talking points on their machine. Then I finally get to a human being who sends me to another human being, who then sends me paperwork through my email just so that I can get something done on the credit cards. Where I want to move back to Consumer Credit Union right here on Gull Road, where I can walk in there if I have to and go, here's a check, thank you very much, and walk out. I've talked to them. They will give us 3 cards just like we did before. I will be able to put what the limits are on each one of those cards through a website. So if we have a dollar amount that we want to say that this is going to be for our credit cards, I can move that around to different cards when needed. Like we had that project that we did out at the park this past month. Well, some of the stuff we couldn't purchase with the card for the office because we didn't have enough credit limit on it. I mean, we were able to end up using the fire department's card to do the job, but I could have went in, if we decide to change vendors, and just moved some money around, and we wouldn't have had to do that. I think this would be it gives the township more flexibility if we move back to the current credit card, consumer credit union for our credit cards. And I'm looking, right now, we have a $2,000 limit on each one of our credit cards. I would like to make that up to at least $3,000 for each of them. So they would give us a $9,000 credit limit, which I would be able to manipulate to which card might need it. So if the fire department needs to buy, a bunch of hoses, I can move money around so that they can purchase the hoses on their credit card and not jeopardize anybody else's card and ability to purchase things.
Is that the vendor that you came in and we had?
Yes,
And
this
then,
was,
and then it moved over to the bank, right? Mm-hmm. So does a canceling a credit card with a bank impact anything you're doing with the bank?
No, not at all.
And it won't cost us rates or anything like that? And if I recall, the Consumer Credit Union statements were very awkward to even read, correct?
well, yes, but they've been improved.
They've improved how they
How
present
they
that.
do their statements, yes.
Okay.
And that's the other thing too, is the current credit card company mails us our statements. And one time when I paid the bill, the post office didn't deliver it on time, so they charged us a fee. And I called them and I said, hey, I can't help it that the post office didn't deliver this to you on time. So they said, okay, we'll take the fee off. And I said, oh, all right, great, thanks. So I paid it without paying the fee because they told me they were going to take it off. Well, then they charged me another fee because I didn't pay the fee that they told me they were taking off. And I was like, so I called them back. They told me they would take that off. And I'm still waiting to hear from them now whether they're going to give us a credit.
That's a one-time, probably, right? One time at that.
It only happened one time.
Yeah.
I make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I mean, I've dealt with Consumer Credit Union a lot. I know that if they have fixed how they present the card, and you're saying it can be electronic, and we have offices here, and it's easy and it's no impact, I'll make a motion that we move back with the Consumer Credit Union credit card.
I'll support.
We have a motion and support to move back to the Consumers Credit Union credit card. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? None. Motion carried. Do you want a roll call?
Yes, you should.
Have to, I think it is a roll call.
Yeah.
I was trying to help you, Mary. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just finishing writing down the motion. Trustee Harmon.
Aye.
Treasurer Wiersma.
Aye.
Clerk Stage, aye. Supervisor Hutchings. Trustee Langshaw. Trustee Beeks.
All right.
Trustee White.
Unanimous. Thank you.
Along with that, and I didn't want to do it before the vote, but again, in the latest magazine for MTA, it recommended, PA 738 requires the Township Board to adopt an electronic transactions policy so that we can, public funds can be transferred electronically. Do we have the policy?
We have an old ACH policy, so I'd have to look and see specifics.
Yeah, I might recommend that we kind of take a look at that because we're doing more and more electronically. I mean, you're even electronically depositing checks too, right? So I didn't recall seeing one. That's why I wanted to bring it up and say I think.
I don't think we
Bring a
do.
policy to the next board meeting.
Yeah. Well, I think if you work it out in the office, that would be fine as long as, you bring it to us for the approval, right? But
Right.
but it says at a minimum we should have a policy.
Is that in the credit card policy, how we're going to pay for it? That it's, because I believe Jeff Rude had an issue with electronic transactions, and I believe we had a trustee that sat in that chair, and he did too. So I want to say it's written somewhere, but don't quote me. Is it in the credit card policy that it's allowed to be swept?
I would have to go back and read the,
Okay. All right.
it's been a while since I've read it, but
It's worth
I'll
revisiting.
I just point out where it
I'll
is in
send
the
this down.
article, and
Thank
can
you.
give it-
Thank you for that. Thanks for the articles tonight.
Thank
That was what I was trying to mention to you, Mary.
Oh, okay. All right, we can talk about this tomorrow.
Thank you.
Payroll.
Okay, payroll vendor, yes.
Did we need a roll call? We already did roll call, never mind. Yeah, they're gonna do the payroll vendor now.
Yeah, did we?
The payroll,
Did this one, but we didn't do that.
right.
It's right here. Yeah, we're doing this one next.
No, I knew.
That,
So I had a payroll company come in, and then I did a Zoom presentation. We currently do have a payroll company that it was set up prior to me becoming clerk. What I do right now is the week that payroll goes out, I get payroll slips from everybody. I take that information, I transfer it to an Excel spreadsheet, then I print that Excel spreadsheet, then I put that into Basics website, then I, submit my payroll. Basics sends me a sheet back on what, the payroll has been done, what everything has been paid. Then I take that information from that sheet and I put it into another spreadsheet that Jeff Rude created. It makes sure that everything is hunky-dory, and then I take that information and I put it into BS&A. Okay. This payroll company, everybody would get an app on their phone. So the park kid goes to the park, he pulls up the app, he goes, "I'm here," and he starts his time. He leaves the park, he hits the app, "I'm out." And they log all of the hours of all the employees as they are going throughout their day. Michael King, he's one of our most diverse people that we have here. So I just did, this is a payroll week, and for Michael, I have him on Marine Patrol, I have him in the cemetery, I have him in the park, I have him in the hall, I have him and the police department maintenance, and I have to figure all that out. So now Michael would go, "I'm working in the police department maintenance, I'm out of the police department maintenance, I'm at the park, we're doing maintenance, I'm off the park doing maintenance," and all of that would be put into their system. So when I go in and I check everything, and I go, "Submit payroll," and I'm done until they give me the information. Then they just don't give me the information like Basic does. They give me the spreadsheet that can just be uploaded into BS&A, and all of that information is there. And I mean, I guess if I figured out about how much time I do paying payroll, this will save me time so I can do other tasks that I have at hand, and free me up to do other things. It was a slick system.
And that will then feed the 1099s.
Oh, they will do they will do 1099s if I ask them to, and they will also do the W-2s for all the employees.
And your level of oversight, like right now, people will give you their pay card, their pay stub. Are you still going to be, not stub, what do I look at? Time sheet,
timesheet.
right? You'll still be collecting those, and that's where you're going to double check against the entries, or what?
Well, no, the app should take care of that. One thing the app will do, it'll ding me like, "This kid is in the park at, like 9 o'clock at night, and the park closed at 8. So I can go in and I can call and go, like, "When did you actually leave the park?" And they can tell me, and would be able to go into the system and change it and make sure that the time was right.
You're comfortable with the oversight that everybody would provide you, that when you reviewed it before you hit the payroll button, people would be
Right.
accounting for their time
Mary
correctly,
Carroll
per se.
could come to me and tell me what the schedule is for the kids and what their expected times are and everything like that. And I can go in and verify it as I'm looking at the payroll before I submit it.
And the cost you're paying today for your system versus the cost for ADP?
It's probably going to be break even or just a little bit more, but not much. because the quote that they gave us in the packet, which I think was for 50 employees, and we don't always have 50 employees each week. You know, it varies. The summertime, we have more because we have our park kids. And then in the winter, we don't have as many. And the police, oh, that's something we forgot to talk about. The fire department gets paid quarterly, so.
Will it still do that?
Yeah, I talked to Jake about it, and there is a way for the app to be programmed, because he was saying, you know, the guys come to a call and they don't need them, so they pay them for 1 hour for their gas and stuff to get back and forth. So when that happens, the guys that do that, the system can be set up so that it recognizes that they clicked in and they clicked out, but they're gonna get an hour.
And because we still want them to click in and click out at the right time, and we'll let the system do the
Do the work.
roundup.
Right, right.
What about board people? How does that work? They all have to take an app
No, we're just
to get their,
No, because it's considered a salary.
How does it currently work? Like somebody at the park clocks in, how do they clock in now?
They write it on a sheet of
they,
paper.
they have their daily sheet, and they write time in, time out, and then it comes. Then they submit, turn in the money, and Mary Carol and
And
they look at it, and so they know the schedule. So it's, you know, the park closes at 8, and so, you know, sometimes it's, you don't get to walk out right at 8. Hopefully it's, you know, not a whole lot later than 8:05, 8:10, and so they can look at it.
so do the daily log and then they convert it to a little paper timesheet for the kids.
And on that app, if I'm going to work 8 to 5 and I forget to log in and it's 10 o'clock, I can still put it in at 8. And then if I forgot to log out, or if I forgot to log out, I can go ahead and make
yeah, so there would be a supervisor, like they would either call me or Mary Carol and go, oh, I forgot to log in, and
Okay, so
we
that's
could
a
jump
level
into
of-
the system
yeah.
and go, oh, they were there at 8 o'clock, and
Currently verify like the times. I mean, obviously the park, if you work 8 to 5, you pay them from 8 to 5 or 8 to 5:15 or however long it takes them to clean up. Like the cemetery or the, you know, the other things you were talking about. Are there set times? How do you
No.
verify? Like if I say, oh, I'm here, how do I know I'm here? How does it know I'm here?
right now, Michael's on the honor system. He would be on the honor system doing the app also.
Didn't you say that it alerted you if they weren't there or something? Maybe I misunderstood you.
Well, like if I can set it up differently for each department. So like the kids, we know the park closes at 8 o'clock. So they told me that they can set it up so that, like, if it alerts you, like, well, wait, they're still there at 9 o'clock at night. You know, that the park's already been closed, unless it was something that they had to do. That would be something they could, you know, call in and
Yeah,
tell us.
I don't know, Mary Carol. I don't think you need much more than about a 15-minute window on the park, 30 at the most.
So Todd, what it does is it sets up like an exception. So if we put in there that the rules are the latest you're going to be at the park is 8 o'clock at night, and 9 o'clock she gets a chime that says someone's still there. Clearly they didn't log out. So then that's what the chime means, is that you are now violating the rule that you set, which is everybody should be logged out by 8 o'clock. So she would be able to contact the employee and say, did you work until 8 or 8:30? And then she can physically log them out, or the supervisor can log them out from that.
Where I used to work, they had a system like this. And my boss texted me one night. He goes, are you still at work? It was 11 o'clock. No, I forgot to clock out before I left. And so he said, what time did you leave? And I texted him back, and he went in and changed it.
But do you think it gives it more verification than the current system, or pretty much the same? I mean, like verifying the times are accurate and that type of stuff.
Well, we do that, yeah, the timesheets come in and we say, okay, that was their time.
I just wondered if that would help you hold accountable. Not saying it needs to be done. I'm just saying, you know, if it needed to be done
Right.
with that app, would it be easier to verify that what they put in was accurate?
Are we more or less secure from fraud?
Thank you.
Right.
Right, because we're trusting the time cards when people put down
Right,
their
we're
exit
trusting
time.
the time cards, and we would be trusting them to put in apps. But I would question something if someone came, like if Michael came to me and said he worked in the cemetery for 15 hours, I'd be going to Mary Carol, what was he doing in the cemetery for 15
We
hours?
know what he was doing in the cemetery last week.
Well, I know, but then, and
But,
she would
yeah.
explain to me,
Right.
you know, oh, there's a tree down and he was cleaning that up. And yes, he did spend that much time in there. You know, I mean, it's still an honor system, but it's keeping track of the time more
Yeah, I'm
closely.
not saying it's a problem. I'm just curious. All right, thank you.
So I think one of my questions is the geofencing for people that are logging in. So you can get out to the park and you can log in, but what if somebody's like, ooh, I'm late for my shift. I'm gonna log in right now, and they're still at home. So is there a geofence that's turned on that says they can't log in unless the GPS hits the Ross Township Park?
I can ask that question.
That's fraud control,
right,
so
right.
that would be
Nope.
something that we would need. And then the caveat to that would be, we don't have a whole lot of really good internet reception out at Ross Township Park. So what are we gonna do when people are out there and they can't log in?
Well, then they could call Mary Carol or myself and say, I'm at the park, I can't log in, I got here at this time, and we can go in and do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, I sit out there and I got my laptop. I'm working, streaming.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
So the geofencing is a big thing, because I know you can tighten that up to a GPS right there on the spot, because we want people to be able to log in when they're there.
Okay, I will ask about that.
So you brought up a question that I would have. I didn't realize the firefighters were paid quarterly. You know, I hear Doug saying, hey, it's really tough to get people, but would this system allow us to pay them monthly or even bi-weekly? I mean, I would picture that would be a benefit. Then, you know, it would be,
I heard from
Rob?
Should be paid at least monthly.
because I had heard from somebody that when they were at the MTA conference, that it was brought up that the firefighters needed to be paid monthly. And so started talking to Christina about it, and I was like, so we need to change this.
but this new system would allow that to happen pretty
That
easily, right?
would allow that to happen, yes. Mhm. Because what they can create for me is when Jake brings me the payroll for the fire department, or they can log in and log out too, so we can set that up for them on that too. And just, they would be our monthly people.
But if memory serves, I thought they were adamant about wanting to get paid quarterly.
DOL says no.
No,
Why is that?
Yep, you have to pay people monthly.
Well, a lot of departments, they would pay people even annually. So it was not, I don't know why they don't.
Remember either, but I know that
I would venture to say that they were paid previously, maybe even in longer spans.
yeah. I mean, I'm
But
with
they're
you. I
supposed to
think
be
it ought to
paid
be monthly.
Is that law? Is that by law? I mean, if it's by law, then
think
there's
it's
no need for an additional
yeah.
conversation, right? It just means, hey, we're going to start following the law and let's start
We just need
moving.
to have a conversation with them and let them know this is going effective.
And you can do that as a liaison, Chris?
I was right. Could have Mary about knocked me out of the doorway when she told me. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get it done.
All right. Well, I didn't hear it yet, but I mean, I looked through the material. I talked to Mary last Friday on it. I kind of like the program myself. It's going to end up being more robust and less mistakes being made, you know, because of all the transfer of data by hand. You know, it's now going to be more automatic. So I'm going to make a motion that we allow the clerk to move to the, what is it, ADP payroll vendor.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and support to permit the clerk to move forward with ADP. Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Yes. Trustee White,
Aye.
Trustee Beeks,
Aye.
Trustee Langshaw, Supervisor Hutchings,
Aye.
Trustee Harmon.
Aye.
Treasurer Wiersma.
Aye.
Clerk Stage, aye.
Unanimous, thank you.
Seconded my motion. Was that?
I did.
You just, that. I think that's gonna be great for you.
2.
All right, we are moving into the speed round of, we have 1 minute, speed round. This is the second citizen comment. Limit your comments to the Ross Township Board to 1 minute, please. If you came in late, we already have your name. Don't say your address. You can just say your first name and then get right to your point. So, and I won't start the minute until after you've said your name. Who would like to lead us off?
Carrie, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that the township is the one responsible for the SAD. That's going to help the neighbors really big in figuring out how to proceed. But I do have some questions that do need to be answered regarding the SAD, the current SAD. Who authorized the change in the scope of the SAD involving the removal and the replacement of the portion, the aerator system? What is the complete financial breakdown associated with those changes? Was Everblue Lake compensated separately for the removal of the aeration, even though his contract states he's supposed to remove the aeration? And why were property owners not asked to sign petitions, come to public hearings, and the board vote on those changes in the scope? And the last one, why, what does the L4029 contract state in regarding the SAD cycle?
Thank you.
So you're welcome.
Thank you. Next.
Nancy, I just want to thank you for your willingness to help manage the SAD. I have spent hundreds of hours over the past several years working on this and managing the logistics. It's very time consuming. But I do understand that the SAD is supposed to be revenue cost neutral. And so now I'm wondering, we work for free, all those 100 hours, myself and 11 other board members. And now you're going to take that burden on. And I know you don't work for free, and there's going to be a cost associated with all these meetings. And I just want to know how much more the parcel owners are going to have to pay now that we have you managing it and we are no longer doing it for free. So, thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Yes, I'm Chris. And after hearing your discussion about the SAD, I don't think that it would be necessary to have a lake board. I think you guys can handle it. That's all I have to say.
Thanks for the homework assignment, Chris. Next.
I actually believe that Sherman Lake does need a lake board. They do so much more than just manage an SAD. And I think it's very important to make sure that you have the citizens of the lake advocating for what needs to happen at the lake. And the SLRA provides them with that opportunity if they choose to get involved.
Thank you. Next.
I want to thank the board for this meeting tonight, and I think having a town hall and having open discussion with the vendors and the residents I like that idea because I think it'll bring a lot of good points forward and give everybody a chance to express their opinions. The worst thing we can do for our lake is nothing. We need to manage the lake. Without proper management, the lake is going to deteriorate very rapidly. We've seen it happen in other lakes. In 2023, Austin Lake had to spend nearly $450,000 in herbicides to treat weeds, invasive species, because they let their lake management, they stopped doing anything. That's what happened. We don't want that to happen in Sherman Lake. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. Speed round is officially closed, clerk, at 8:29 p.m. Do you have any trustees that would like to provide any updates?
I'll go first. I am printing and stuffing tax bills next week to be able to send them out July 1st for your summer tax bill.
Is there a newsletter that's going with that?
No.
Just the bill?
Oh,
Just the bill. I didn't throw anything together this time.
I might have something.
Okay.
You got time?
You came to me and told me I had to do something this time because you did the last one.
You let me know. You print it, we'll get it in the envelope.
So I have some open space on the dance card if anybody would like to work with me to get any information out. I think this is a perfect opportunity for you to go live with that slick and we'll get that rolling out.
All right.
I went to several meetings over the last couple weeks. One was with someone from the BOE and the Attorney General of Michigan discussing election security, as well as they informed us that they are trying extremely hard to get the state to purchase our new election equipment, which would be wonderful if they would do that. So I'm hopeful for that that's what is happening. Move ballots go out this weekend, and we have got our ballots today, and we will be stuffing absentee ballots next week to go out Thursday.
Thank you. I will say that I did have one individual that came in and was extremely complimentary of the Richland and Ross lawsuit against Gull Lake Sewer and Water Authority, and praised the board's decision to make an action of leaving the authority, and wished us well and success, and asked if there's anything they can do to help. And that individual, because I said, no, all you can do is just tell your neighbors and continue to speak appreciation to the board. And then that individual returned and gave me a check for $500. And he said, good job, keep up the great work. And I've given it to trustee Wiersma to put into the bank account for legal defense. So we hear a lot of noise, and we had an individual that came in and was extremely proud of this board for taking legal action and seeking to leave the authority. So I think that's good news, and I wanted to share that.
So Rob, did we ever get a response from your, I'll say note to Murphy and Spagnola on
That's
the rate
in
increase?
your handout.
Yeah, I don't have a response back.
I saw the.
Oh,
I
his,
just wanna know
yes,
if you
his
had a
response, yes.
Okay, nothing then, okay. So what are we gonna do as a board on the ambulance? I know that, we heard today that we have 2 months left on the review period. I mean, is that, what's kind of the game plan?
I think the game plan should be chatting with the fire department. I know that they've had ongoing meetings. We have been giving monthly recaps. So I think it's just kind of going back and circling within and taking temperature of how things are going, and then bringing Lori to the table and having conversations about what the next step looks like. Short of that,
So one of the issues I've heard the board members always bring up is the fact that it hasn't been 100% staffed here. It's like 93, 95, 98, which, I mean, if you look at a scale, that would be an A, right? I mean, if you got a 90. But is that something that, if there is going to be a RFP put out, that's going to be part of it as well, that it always stay at 100% staffed? Or are we going to be willing to say maybe 90, 95% staffed?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't think it has to be an absolute, because it's really, what do we care about? We care about the time it takes to get to our residents. And so that's, and the quality of the care and the support of the fire department. I think those are things that, are less, or those are more important than are they, sitting here, or where are they sitting? If they're not sitting here and, you see the call response time go up, is that causation? Or not, what's causing that to go up. So I think, that's part of it. I agree with Christina. I mean, we sit down and have a conversation with our fire department. You look at the quality of care and the response times, and, we see where we go from here.
I think ultimately the takeaway is that we've come far in the last year. I've developed a wonderful working relationship with Lori. I've grown to worry less about the fact that they're parked right there where we can see them, because they've demonstrated where they roam, they're still getting here. And when the call volume is such that the response time is what it should be, the lights and sirens is what it should be, we really need to rely on what our fire department wants. They are the ones that are bashing through the front door with the ambulance. And I think we can look at quality metrics and we can look at the data, but ultimately it has to start with our fire team. What does our fire team want? What do they want to see out of the upcoming contract? I've learned a lot. Initially, and I'm going to be a real human and say it, initially I was a real stickler for they have to be parked here. But we know you're not. Because you're out doing calls and they're busy, and there's got to be a way where we look at the data that you're bringing the calls forward in an appropriate amount of time. And if the fire department warrants that you're meeting their call outs in an appropriate amount of time, then those are things that we can talk about and putting together a new contract, what that's going to look like moving forward. I keep looking at you because I want to make sure you're tracking with what I'm saying. We worked hard this last year. And so I think there's obviously more work to be done. Being the liaison with both the police department and the fire department, then it puts me in a good position to hear their feedback on a daily basis. But we'll crack at it one more time and just get some official stuff on paper so we can move forward together. Does that work for you?
Is that something that the Public Safety Committee will be working on then to bring to the board for?
I think so. I mean, I provide a unique perspective being the liaison because I work with the fire team directly. I'm here every day, and I work with the police department every day. So I know the calls that they're going out on. I'm real interested in what they're doing out there. They come in, they report off what they're seeing, what they're looking at, and what it was like to go out on a joint together with another mutual aid or life care. So I get a lot of really good information. I don't know what that looks like because we've got more of a team this year. So I think what we need to figure out is where my day-to-day ends and where their reporting begins. So those are things that we probably need to figure out.
Right. So that's something, like say, if we're 2 months away, is that something we have to start addressing at our next meeting?
Yep, and Doug and I know that we need to get together. We've got some educational pieces that we're already working on. So when I get with Doug, I'll get with the rest of the command staff because it's important, and we laid the foundation that it's not just Doug having the conversations, it's the whole command staff. And like he said before, he just backed away from the podium, is he's got to get his monthly crew meeting together. So I'll apply a little bit of pressure when he's not busy and get that on a calendar.
All right.
Thank you. Good questions.
We need to make sure for next month we've got the budget review
Okay.
on the calendar, on the agenda.
So I'm working on the agenda for July.
So July is ambulance budget.
Yep.
Should be able to see the schedule that Rob's going to put together for the SAD. And
Yep.
And streetlights.
We're going to be busy.
Yep.
Okay.
hope we got an update from Mary on the new credit card and the payroll vendor.
So I just need to know when we're canceling it because all of our email, all of our stuff is on my credit card, so I don't want to be in default and have our email and stuff not work. So I just need to know when we're done with that credit card.
But get your new credit card and then
We'll add it in. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Anybody else? Going once, going twice?
I move we adjourn.
or
Supervisor adjourns the meeting at 8:38 PM. Thank you.